The 10 highest paid players at the 2024 Copa America. The Copa America celebrates the very best that CONCACAF has to offer. From Brazil to Argentina, countries with some of the biggest football heritage on the planet will take center stage over the course of the summer. With so many nations capable of creating some of the greatest talents the sport has to offer, it is no surprise to see many of these names representing some of the biggest clubs and making some serious money doing so. With individuals plying their trade in Europe and in the MLS, the 10 players earning the most at the Copa America will return to the most comfortable of livings when the tournament comes to an end. Cristian Romero, Argentina. Salary: £165,000 per week. World Cup winner Cristian Romero kicks off the 10 highest earners of the Copa America, pocketing a cool £165,000 per week at Tottenham Hotspur. The Argentine has cemented his position as one of the top defenders in the Premier League, forming a formidable partnership with teammate Mickey van de Ven. In comparison to other central defenders in England's top flight, only 7 exceed what Romero is currently making. That could soon change though, as it is being reported that the 26-year-old is high on the list of Real Madrid's targets, meaning a pay rise could be on the table in the near future. Gabriel Martinelli, Brazil. Salary: £180,000 per week. Arsenal star Gabriel Martinelli has been part of a transformative attack under Mikel Arteta. Alongside the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard, the Brazilian has turned into one of the biggest threats that the Premier League has to offer. The right winger will be a major asset for Vinicius Jr.'s squad this summer. That is if he recovers from a brutal training injury at the hands of another man on this list. Having developed from a player with potential to a genuine top-class talent, Martinelli has been rewarded with a contract that pays him £180,000 per week. This is a more lucrative deal than Liverpool's Alexis Mac Allister and international teammate Bruno Guimaraes.
8. Enzo Fernandez, Argentina. Salary: £180,000. It has been a testing period for Enzo Fernandez since he made the move to West London 18 months ago. Having shot to fame for his efforts during Argentina's successful World Cup campaign in 2022, the midfielder has had his moments without consistently justifying his eye-watering transfer fee. Whilst he is yet to reach the heights he promised, Chelsea still believes in Fernandez's potential. This is highlighted by the £180,000 per week the Blues have invested in the player, with his deal running until 2031. 7. Lautaro Martinez, Argentina. Salary: £184,000. Lautaro Martinez found himself becoming one of the most important players for both his club and country. The Inter Milan captain was the top scorer in Serie A last season, leading the Nerazzurri to Scudetto glory. Having declared his love for life in Milan, it appears as though Martinez is set to extend his stay in the Italian capital, according to Fabrizio Romano. The details behind the new contract are currently unknown, other than the fact it is set to run until 2029. As of now, the 26-year-old is earning a little more than teammate Fernandez, sitting on £184,000 per week. 6. Lionel Messi, Argentina. Salary: £186,000. The greatest South American to ever play the game. Some may say this moniker belongs to either Pelé or Diego Maradona. Most people, though, will land on Lionel Messi. And it's hard to argue against the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner. No longer in his prime, Father Time has caught up with the Argentinian wizard. Despite that, he continues to show his class, dominating the MLS for Inter Miami. The fact he no longer competes at the highest level of European football has meant he has had to take a pay cut. Luckily for Messi, his legacy still helps him earn £186,000 per week. 5. Rafinha, Brazil. Salary: £203,000. When at his best, Rafinha is an individual who can catch the eye of anyone that is watching. But finding a level of consistency at the Camp Nou has at times been easier said than done for the Brazilian winger. Most recently, the forward has made headlines for calling out legendary figure Ronaldinho. The former Leeds United man moved from Yorkshire to Catalonia in 2022, and despite the fact Barcelona were beginning to show signs of financial trouble, the 27-year-old was able to negotiate a deal worth £203,000 P/W. That is an increase of more than 222% from what Rafinha had earned in his final season in England. 4. Rodrygo, Brazil. Salary, £207,000. Often left to play a secondary role behind Vinicius Jr for club and country, Rodrygo is a name who cannot be forgotten about in the Brazil ranks. The 23-year-old has made 23 appearances for his country since making his debut as a teenager. Since then, he has blossomed into a true superstar who is capable of producing game-changing moments in the biggest of fixtures. Having that clutch gene is not something that every footballer has in abundance, making it a valuable asset. Because of that, Real Madrid have made sure that Rodrygo is compensated appropriately, handing him a weekly wage of £207,000 per week. 3. Eder Militao, Brazil. Salary, £241,000. It was Eder Militao that wiped out Gabriel Martinelli in Brazil training, and that is not the only battle between the pair that the Real Madrid defender has come out on top of. The former Porto man earns in excess of £60,000 per week more than his counterpart, despite the fact that the 26-year-old played just 13 times in all competitions last season after being hit with the injury bug. With a weekly salary of £241,000 per week, it means that Militao made close to £25k per minute of football he featured in this season. That's very expensive work, but it also led to yet another Champions League title for Los Blancos. 2. Marquinhos, Brazil. Salary, £278,000 per week. Brazil's newest captain has been a staple of the five-time world champions team since he made his senior debut all the way back in 2013. Marquinhos has gone on to make over 80 appearances for his country whilst also being a key part of every version of the ever-changing PSG over the last decade. His loyalty and consistency at the French club has seen him be fairly remunerated. The 30-year-old's current salary stands at a staggering £278,000 per week. This not only makes Marquinhos one of the highest-paid players at the Copa America, but also put him in the top 4 earners in Paris. 1. Vinicius Jr, Brazil. Salary, £345,000 per week. Given that Vinicius Jr is the best player at the Copa America, it is hardly a surprise to find that he is also the tournament's highest earner. The Real Madrid star has had yet another fantastic campaign, capping it off by scoring in a Champions League final for the second time in his career as Los Blancos overcame a stubborn Borussia Dortmund side. At just 23 years old, the world remains Vinicius' oyster. As good as the winger is now, there is plenty of room for him to improve. As that happens, expect his salary, which already stands at £345,000 per week, to rise exponentially. Should it do so, you can expect the electric forward to keep top spot by the time the next Copa America rolls around in 2028.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for daily updates,